Welcome back. The crisis in Egypt has moved to two courtrooms today, with former President Hosni Mubarak returning to court to face charges of murdering protesters against his regime. The military-installed government unseated his democratically elected successor, Mohamed Morsi. Also pursuit of charges today is the Muslim Brotherhood leader, Mohamed Badia. The two trials are expected to continue for some time, but observers say it is unlikely that this will bring an end to the bloodshed that has rocked the country. We have details in this report.
Former President Hosni Mubarak sat unresponsive behind the metal fencing of the defense cage as he came on trial once again for complicity in the deaths of hundreds of protesters. On court orders, the 85-year-old was released from jail Thursday and put under house arrest in a move that has angered many Egyptians. The proceedings have now been adjourned until mid-September. Security forces were on high alert in Cairo. The case against Muslim Brotherhood leader Mohamed Badia also opened today. His trial has now been adjourned till October. Badia was detained on Tuesday and has been charged with incitement to violence in the unrest preceding Mohamed Morsi's removal from power last month. His supporters say the trial is a bid by the military to crush the Brotherhood's influence. Others dispute that. This Cairo man says he trusts Egypt's judiciary. He believes justice will take its course and maintains that everyone is equal in the eyes of the law. Neither the Badia trial nor the Mubarak case is set to be a short affair. Egyptians and the international community fear that the same goes for the conflict between the defendant's supporters and their opponents.
Syria has agreed to allow United Nations inspectors access to the sites in the suburbs of Damascus, where an alleged chemical attack occurred last week. That government announcement came at the same time that a senior unnamed member of the Obama administration was quoted as saying that the U.S. believes there is very little doubt that a chemical weapon was used by the Syrian regime. Meanwhile, the U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel said the military is prepared to use action if ordered to do so. We have more in this report.
Secretary Chuck Hagel is currently on a tour of Asia. Arriving in Kuala Lumpur, he faced a barrage of questions over what the U.S. plans to do about Syria.
President Obama has asked the Defense Department to prepare options for all contingencies. We have done that, and again, we are prepared to exercise whatever option if he decides to employ one of those options.
This comes amid growing speculation that the U.S. is preparing a military intervention in Syria after reports of another deadly chemical attack there. On Saturday, U.S. President Barack Obama spoke with British Prime Minister David Cameron. The two agreed that chemical weapons use by the Syrian government would trigger a, quote, serious response. Humanitarian aid organization Doctors Without Borders says its medical staff in Damascus have treated some 3,600 patients with neurotoxic symptoms since Wednesday's chemical attack. Of those, 355 have died.
We think it's very likely that these symptoms were caused by a chemical substance. To see so many patients suffer acutely from the same symptoms would definitely suggest as much.
The Syrian regime says rebels were behind the attack. On Saturday, state TV said government troops nearly suffocated from chemical substances during a raid at a rebel hideout.
In India, police have arrested a fifth suspect in the alleged gang rape of a woman photographer in Mumbai. The latest story in a second sexual assault to make headlines in the country in spite of tougher rape laws. As CNN's Malika Kapoor reports, working women in the city are outraged and scared.
Considered India's most progressive city, Mumbai has a large pool of working women, a group stunned by Thursday's rape of a young photojournalist in the heart of India's financial capital.
I feel extremely angry and very unsafe at the same time.
Tonali Mukherjee is a freelance photojournalist. She says she's never hesitated to go on an assignment day or night.
As a journalist, we have this very false sense of security coming on, especially the camera, because you're somewhat disconnected from everything around you.
But as Tonali points out, The latest shocking sexual assault making headlines in India is a reminder a journalist is as vulnerable as any other woman. Many of Mumbai's women journalists complain about the lack of security while they're out and about doing their job.
I changed 3 trains, but the thing is there was no cop.
Mumbai has long been considered one of India's safest cities for women, but these journalists say the reality is quite different, and they've come here to talk to the governor about their problems and ask for more security. According to government figures, a rape has been reported every day in Mumbai between January and March. These journalists say they want a more visible police presence on local trains and stations, the main mode of public transport in Mumbai.
We cannot ask male colleagues to accompany us because we are professionals.
The governor said he would ask the railway minister to increase security and discuss this with the chief minister. Tonali says she worries security concerns will mean women may not get a fair chance at work anymore.
Somewhere it puts me at a disadvantage because I'm a woman, so even any editor who's going to start thinking about hiring a freelancer that will say, you know, maybe I'll go with a man. And that's not fair.
Working women across the city say they feel the city has let them down. At various press conferences, the police are trying to reassure women that Mumbai is and will remain a safe place for them. But to many, it's just rhetoric.
The confidence that we had in our own city is gone now.
Malika Kapoor, CNN, Mumbai.
We now take our second break. Welcome back. Abubakar Mak, a youth footballer coach from Challenging Athletics Football Club in England, has urged the Ministry of Youth and Sports and other football stakeholders to provide the necessary structures to help young Gambian talents discover their full potentials. The English-born tactician was speaking in Basse during the just-ended National Youth and Sports Summer Camp. The camp, as we hear in this report by MS Jallo, has helped in discovering young talents.
I will not play football, but when I come here, I have more experiences in football. So I want to thank Mark and Mohammed for the thing they done for me to know all this.
Why don't you play football at home?
Because I don't have time for that.
What time do you have? What time do you have? What do you do at home?
Even if I want to play, my mother said no.
The story of young Tijan Balde, a camper from Upper River region, is one among many success stories of the National Youth and Sports Summer Camp. The summer camp is organized under the aegis of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, bringing together 120 children below the age of 15 from all over the country to help them discover their talents and learn new skills in sports and other activities. During the week-long summer camp in Basse, Tijan Balde and his fellow campers would take to the field every morning to learn the basics in football, volleyball, basketball, handball, and wrestling. For Tijan Du, who hardly had the chance to play football at home, the camp provides him the rare opportunity to explore his talents in the beautiful game. He was often seen struggling to control or pass the ball during practice sessions, but with the help of their trainer, Abubakar Mak, a youth football coach from Charlton Athletics Football Club in England, Tijan and the rest of the children have had significant improvement in some basic football skills, such as ball control, passing, heading, and dribbling skills, and it was real fun for them.
I feel very great because Mark and Mohammed taught us great things like how to man player, charge, pass, do long passes, play zoo. Yeah.
The English tactician was amazed by Tijan's emotional story and the incredible talents he spotted whilst training the kids.
I've been surprised, to say the least, because at first maybe I was ignorant a bit, but the kids, they're more than able. I just encourage the Gambian people to support your kids more, because they're good and they're bright stars of tomorrow.